Hey everybody, I'm Ashley Young. You should probably know that. I'm here with Jacob Thaler. He is a junior at Northeastern. So we're just going to jump into the questions. All right, Jacob. What are some of your impressions of Jewish activities on campus?
Since I came to Boston to go to school from Minnesota, I would say that the Jewish activities at Northeastern are a lot more abundant than anything I ever had at home. So they do. Hillel does a good job of incorporating, trying to get to the Jewish community. They kind of have like a list of all the Jews when they come in, and they do a good job of getting emails out to people that want to get involved.
Cool. Do you have any impressions of the students who are involved in those activities?
There's kind of a wide range of people that are involved. There's people like me who kind of sporadically show up for Shabbat dinner so that they can feel Jewish throughout the year. And then there's people, like a couple of my friends who run the show and they have events every single day and are a lot more involved trying to work dinners throughout the week and planning things for the entire year. And there's rabbi meetings. So there's a lot of people that go and meet with the rabbi on a weekly basis at Hillel. So at Northeastern, there's people that are really involved in meeting with the rabbi every week. In fact, they go to his house sometimes. And then there's me and a large of the community probably like to show up for the dinners and be with the community on holidays and stuff.
Okay. And just like to think back for a second about what were some of the impressions you had of Jewish life on campus, or even just an Alex, which you're currently a student.
I guess, what do you mean?
Like, I guess with your impressions, were they authentic? Was it genuine, or was it kind of forced, or?
Actually, no, it wasn't forced at all. I mean, everyone that seems like they ended up at Hillel was just kind of looking for some sort of identity on campus right away and looking for people to identify with as a freshman or a sophomore, mostly younger kids, and they it just kind of happens. For some people don't ever come back, and some people find that it's their community and they stay there for a while. So I'd say it's pretty genuine and mostly up to the people that show up there.
And do you encounter any discrimination on campus?
No, I wouldn't say discrimination by any means, but I will say we are maybe judged before meeting. I'm in the Jewish fraternity right now, and I would say that for sororities to come hang out with the Jewish fraternity, I feel like they have a little bit of hesitation just because they might think of us as a really religious group of guys wearing yarmulkes and having long beards and hair and stuff. But usually that goes away once people hang out with us and it's just a bunch of normal people. I mean, in my fraternity, there's Catholics, so it's just people don't know that.
Wow. So how do you guys combat it? Is it just you just wait for them to come, or is it you guys more proactive with that?
It's a little more proactive. We just kind of reach out. Like I said, we don't actively go out and look for people for our fraternity that aren't Jewish, but we're 100% accepting to everybody. I mean, we have an Asian in our fraternity who just says he identifies with Jewish values, so he's there, and we don't combat it as much as we just get out and meet people, and they realize that Jews aren't any different than anybody else. So.
Okay. Now I know you talked a little bit about Hillel. What would it take for you to become more involved in Hillel or any other Jewish activities? I guess other than your fraternity.
For the most part, the dinners get me involved because it reminds me of home, being able to be with family or a community on Friday nights or Hanukkah or Passover. And recently, they've been there's a bunch of different board positions at Hillel right now, and just kind of taking different activities, not just strictly Jewish activities, like retreats and in different. For me, it's physical activities like going out on a hike with the community and stuff like that. So I guess it's more. What I see Hillel do is kind of branching out, not just only Jewish activities, but just kind of just doing activities to keep the Jewish community doing things together at Northeastern.
Okay. And in your view, what could or should be done to make activities more appealing? I know you talked about mostly doing things more outdoors, more retreats, things that's not necessarily Jewish based, is kind of what you're looking for.
Yeah. For me, I like hanging out with Jews more than I am completely into the faith. I did my bar mitzvah. I did do things that Jews do in the faith, and I do go to synagogue when I'm home. But in general, I like being with the Jewish community more than I'm invested in the Jewish faith in general.
Okay. And then I had read a little bit about interdating and intermarriage.
Yeah.
How do you feel about interdating and possibly one day intermarriage?
In my family, my mother was Catholic and my dad was a Jew, and they, I mean, it has had no effect on our family. In fact, my mom converted. Um, for me, I think when if someone shares the same values, intermarriage, it really doesn't affect me. I think I would marry anybody, no matter what it is. But I do know that a lot of my friends don't feel the same way. I have Persian Jewish friends, and they are very strict on marrying within Judaism. And I have friends that are strictly looking for marrying other Jewish girls and stuff. So, and vice versa. But for me and more of my closer friends, I would say, it really doesn't make too much of a difference as long as it's the right person, I guess.
Okay. And then, to what extent are Jewish faculty members visible or active within the Jewish campus community?
For me, they've been super visible.
Huh.
I'm a Jewish studies minor at Northeastern, and all the teachers there that I've had so far have been Jewish, and some way Jewish, and some kind of more like me, one of them was super hippie Jewish, and then we've had a kind of they have a lot of talks on campus. There's lots of speakers that come in talking about biblical times, and strictly Jewish speakers, and Jews that live in Arab countries, and when we've had those experiences, all the Jewish teachers on campus usually end up showing up. So they've been very visible for me. I guess I kind of know who most of them are by now.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then, under what circumstances would you turn to like a Jewish faculty member for information, like guidance or assistance?
I guess mostly for my Jewish studies classes. I'm interested in Israel and Middle Eastern studies, and so I kind of look to them for one side of the arguments when I'm looking for different things in my political science papers. I've talked to actually the Jewish studies dean, or whatever you would call him, the head of the department. I talked to him a lot. He taught me a bunch of things when I was taking one of his classes, and mostly just for anything that relates to Jews or Israel or where Jews have been, I guess I would go to them for. Otherwise, I mean, they're just normal teachers, so I go to them for anything else.
So you'd go for them for like personal reasons too, or is it just that they're faculty, so you don't go necessarily to faculty in general?
Yeah, I guess I don't usually go to faculty in general, but I would say that if I was going to faculty for something, I probably would try to seek out maybe a Jewish one, just so that they could understand maybe family-oriented values or anything like that would factor into whatever I was dealing with at the time, I guess.
Okay, cool. Well, that's all I had, so thank you.
Great.